Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the MotorCity mechanic. In today's video, we're going to be answering the question that a lot of you have been asking me, and that is, what became of the PT Cruiser that we bought off of Craigslist for 350 bucks? Did we A, fix it and turn it into a daily driver, B, fix it and sell it for a profit, or C, did we find out that it cost too much to fix and we got out from under it? Make sure to stay tuned to find out which one of those it is. And before I go answering that question, I want to make sure that everyone's had the chance to watch the initial video, the one that was titled, I bought a $400 car off of Craigslist. If you haven't, there's going to be a link right up here in the corner. Click it and watch it, because knowing the backstory of this is real important, because that's going to help determine whether or not this was a good choice or a bad choice. Now, if you remember, the vehicle is located 4 hours away, so I can't jump in my truck and drive over there and check it out. So initially, I'm relying on what the seller's telling me. They say it needs an engine, they want 400 bucks, and they post a few pictures online. Now, luckily, my parents are vacationing in that exact same town at that moment. I pick up the phone, I call him, he gets in contact with the person selling the vehicle, and they meet up. Now, as they're discussing things, he sends me a bunch of pictures. So as I'm scrolling through, I know what I'm looking for, right? This is a PT Cruiser. This is what I know. I've worked on it since day one. I know what I'm looking for, right? That's the whole reason why I picked this type of vehicle. I can see the condition of the tires, exterior, interior, and I see the parts that they removed and that they put them in the back of the vehicle. So in my mind, I'm doing the numbers. 400 bucks. I need to make sure that the vehicle is in great enough shape to where if I get it back home and I find out that it's too expensive to fix, that I can go ahead and post it back online, 400 bucks, and get rid of it again, right? I need to come out even, worst case scenario. So I pull the trigger and say yes. Now, luckily my dad was able to talk him down to $350 in the meantime. So with a $60 tow dolly rental, we bring it back to the house. And that's when the series of videos start. Now, the first video we shot was how to remove a broken oil dipstick. And then we jumped into the 4-part series on what's wrong with the PT Cruiser. And then we discussed both interference and non-interference engines. And then there was a 2-part series on replacing the valves in the cylinder head. Now, on that 4-part series, if you remember, we started going real in-depth into each one of the systems, trying to find out what was causing the no-start. And the reason why we went so in-depth was I wanted to show you that you could check everything under that hood and never find out what was wrong. It ended up being an error that someone created, right? A mechanic was working on the car, they over-tightened the cam sprocket bolt, and when they did, they sheared the cam alignment pin. So then the timing marks were dead on, but the camshaft was slightly out of position. And that, of course, allowed the piston to hit the exhaust valves. So all that has led up to this moment right here. What happened to the PT Cruiser? Well, I have you know that we actually decided to keep it and fix it. Remember, the story behind this is I'm looking for a cheap, reliable vehicle that I can fix, save some money, I put my own sweat equity in, and come out with something for my daughter as her first vehicle. Something that I know frontwards and backwards that I can pick up pretty cheap online. So in the end, it fit all the criteria. Everything came together like I was hoping. And the only way that really works is if you're gonna buy a vehicle like that, you need to find something that you know a lot about. Don't buy something that's just pretty shiny, something you've always wanted. Pick something that you know something about. That way you know what to look for, the goods, the bads. The good thing about a PT Cruiser is a lot of people misdiagnose them and they get rid of them really cheap for something that's kind of small, like a broken timing belt. Because most mechanics say you need an engine at that point, and that's not the case. Those are the ones I look for all the time. So this one pretty much did everything I asked of it. Price-wise is the next thing, right? We want to find out if this was financially a smart decision, because we could have gone on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and picked up a running driving vehicle too, right? So I need to make sure that did I come out smart in the end. So let's go ahead and price everything out. We bought the vehicle for 400 bucks. We got a tow dolly for 60. We bought some tires on Amazon, brand new, Sumitomos. We bought them for right around $230 for a complete set. I mounted and balanced them myself. You factor in everything that we had to replace when we removed the cylinder head, which included the head gasket and all the related seals and gaskets for that. The exhaust valves, we went ahead and threw on a brand new timing belt, water pump, drive belt, new hoses, coolant pipes that were rusted through. We had to obviously get a new battery because that was missing. So once you factor that in, spark plugs, radiator cap, thermostat, all the fluids, which included oil filters, oil, coolant, we ended up with a grand total of around $1,200. $1,200 for a car whose maintenance is right exactly where it needs to be. Timing belt doesn't need to be done for 100,000 miles. Brand new tires, brand new battery. $1,200. Like I said, that included the purchase of the car. Now, of course, the biggest savings on that was me doing all the work. That's the whole idea of this, right? You buying something you can fix. Yes, you got to buy the parts, but the time you spent is you, right? That's where you're saving money instead of spending the money having someone else put these parts on. Because in the end, that could have been well over $1,000 to $2,000 just letting somebody else doing it. At that point, yes, financially that would have been a bad decision. But being that this is a vehicle that we know, we came out with just a $1,200 bill. Now, where else can you get a $1,200 car that's at this level that this one is now? You just can't. So if you scroll through Facebook Marketplace and you look on Craigslist right now and you look at the prices of a PT Cruiser, you'll find them averaging anywhere from $1,500 to probably $3,000, depending on the condition, the type, if it's a convertible, if it's a turbo. So I could have spent the money on a $1,500 car, right? That wouldn't have been much different. But the issue you would have is the timing belt may still have only 40,000 miles on it. It might be due already. The tires could be half worn. The battery could be 4 years old. It could be due for a tune-up. It could be due for something else. Maybe there's some other issues with it, right? Maybe the paint's already fading. The interior is already worn. That's what you get at that entry level. I'm already below that, right? $1,200 versus $1,500, and I've got everything I could want in that car. Now, it's not going to win any races at the drag strip. It's not going to pick up any chicks, right? And you're not going to win any trophies at the car show. It's a PT Cruiser. It's a car to get from A to B. That's what it is. Love it, hate it, whatever. It's a dependable car. That gets you to work. That gets you to school. And all you spent was $1,200. $1,200 is about 2 or 3 car payments on a modern day vehicle, right? And after that, the car's yours. $1,200. I could have lost my butt on this if it had been something major. Had a rod come through the block, if the transmission also wasn't working at the same time. Those two things alone could have turned this into an expensive paperweight. It really depends on how far I got in there. Because at some point, you're going to have to start pulling back. You're going to have to go, okay, I need to just cut my losses. I'm either going to break even or I'm going to lose some money. I need to stop right now. Because you don't want a $5,000 PT Cruiser in the end, right? You want to keep it cheap. Now that brings me to 2 topics I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. The first one being, would I do this again? The second one being, would I recommend this to somebody else such as yourself to try? For me, I wouldn't hesitate whatsoever. I would jump on this all over again. Personally, I'd like it to be a little bit closer this time, but nonetheless, I'm always looking on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for that next best deal. I've got a driveway full of cars that need something done to them, but yet for some reason I can't hesitate to check out what's out there. Maybe the next one I buy, I turn around and flip, make a few bucks, right? Be a good little video series. Or maybe I replace it with something else I've got sitting out there that maybe I don't drive as often. So yes, like I said, I would not hesitate. Now, when it comes to you, remember the key thing I've mentioned before is you got to find a vehicle that you're familiar with. You got to know this. If you're a Chevy guy, make sure it's a Chevrolet product. Make sure you know it's not one of those cars that we would never recommend to anybody, right? Like for me, I would never recommend anything with a CVT transmission. That's just what I know. So I stick to the brand I know. Stick to the brand that you're familiar with. Maybe something you've owned in the past. Something you know what to look for. Maybe you know a mechanic buddy or a guy that works at a dealership. You ask him and have him check this vehicle out. Because in the end, we need to make sure that this is something that we can actually come out in the end smelling like roses. We don't want to smell like something else, right? We want to come out saving money. And it's also going to be based on your mechanical abilities. If you're not good at working on cars, stay away from this. Because this could actually bite you in the butt really fast. It's all about guys that know how to turn wrenches, that maybe do this for a living. You could work at an independent shop, dealership, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all about your skill set. If you're confident enough to work on cars, I say jump on it. It's the best way to do it. You get somebody else's car that they've gotten rid of, that's become too expensive for them to keep. You get it cheap, a little bit of fixes, you've got a dependable vehicle. So if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you got anything you want to talk about that's related to this video or anything Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram related, you can leave something down below in the comments, or you can email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com. Also, if you like to shop on Amazon, it's an important thing here. Scroll down into the description. There's a link. Click on that link and save that as your Amazon homepage. That way, anything that you buy on there will help support this channel. Once again, everybody, thanks for watching.